doesn't matter. Let's get to our life.
Now cut it out.
Yes, sir. Matrika, back up in this thing, man. Today, we'll be taking a look at some mysterious videos that'll leave you baffled. But before we hop into that, go ahead and spam that like button right now so we bring our numbers up on the algorithm. And you ain't gotta think about it later. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button too. Sub up, join the family. This is the most lit and active community on YouTube, period. With that being said, guys, let's hop straight into the video.
Guys, I don't think chocolate's supposed to look like this. Why is it so, like, elasticy? I'm gonna bend it. Look at that. It's like slime. This is real chocolate. No, this is fake real chocolate, bro. This is literally like slime, bro. Look, I'm literally peeling it.
I hope she didn't eat that, because under no circumstances should real chocolate be floppy like this. I've never seen a boneless Hershey's bar before.
Oh, there's like a thing foul line. Oh. Yeah. Back to the bed. Oh. Oh.
What in the?
Yo, look at that! It's tearing apart.
No way. Wait for it.
Whoa, windows just shook.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally just something falling. And I don't know what it is. I lost it.
They're saying that these are meteorites, but the fact that it's happening all over the world in such a short period of time tells me that it might be deeper than that. It could be some sort of omen.
Okay, hold on a second. Did you guys hear that Drake partnered with McDonald's to launch a new kind of limited time meal that's he had something to do with, apparently. And it just so happens it's called the Afters meal, and it has an owl on it. And they have Night Sprite. Now, the theme is supposed to be where night owls land. That's why there's an owl there. It's like the nighttime meal. But what it reminds me of is the other 40-foot stone owl, which represents the ancient deity Moloch, which I'm not going to tell you what that deity is associated with, but it is very strange. And I can't help but think that there are some forces out there, some good and some evil, that are upon us right now.
I know the owl has been Drake's logo since the beginning of his career, but knowing everything it's associated with, I will not be eating that. You might as well be eating on a double McMoloch burger with cheese.
So we ordered this Murphy bed off of Wayfair, and some of the parts came wrapped in Pampers. So this is weird. Wayfair, an explanation?
Maybe they ran out of bubble wrap at the factory, but even then you would think they would be able to find a better substitute than diapers. If you know about the Wayfair conspiracy, they're never beating allegations.
Could they really walk among us?
Do you have your fans who like have following you, but like know like you have all the kids? Really crazy. So how can people catch up with you guys today? Like, where's the best way? Do you guys have a website? Yeah. Your psychological disorder, and that it might actually be bipolar. could be that. And so we're George Bush and Nicole Richie.
If you're not
But I
polar,
hear yelling in the booth. Are they yelling at me for the way I read that?
Excuse me.
I could hear Lisa yelling
Give her
from.
a break. She didn't read it earlier. She doesn't know the story. It's okay. Just stop it. She's okay.
I could hear you.
Yeah.
I heard you.
well, if you weren't already crazy,
Some people say it's glitches. Other people say it's a glitch in the hologram that they project. Some say analog TV could see through the projection and that's why it was shut down. It reminds me of a movie I've seen.
The Oscar winners give a press conference and how to buy a sailboat as What's wrong?
These could be glitches in the live broadcast, but if that was the case, the background should also be distorted as well. I feel like a lot of these news anchors might actually be half human, half iguana.
Y'all, what the let me show y'all this. So I'm sitting here eating turkey, right? Y'all, that is see-through. See-through. What? That is y'all, what is this? I have never in all of my 31, almost 32 years of life seen anything like this. Hold on, I keep focusing it because like, huh? What is that?
This could be evidence that they're already selling 3D printed meat without us knowing, because this looks like turkey flavored double-sided tape.
You couldn't form a state. Like the federal government wouldn't allow a territory to become a state unless there was a Masonic Grand Lodge in that territory. The only reason for that was because Freemasonry teaches civil order. It teaches how to structure government. It's really set up so that if we were to have a massive cataclysm like we've had in ages in the past, if you've gone through the degrees of Freemasonry, you're given all of the keys to rebuild civilization. If you're in a territory that's kind of wild, if there's a Masonic Grand Lodge, I live in Colorado, our Grand Lodge was established in 1765, but we didn't actually become a state until, 1865, but we didn't actually become a state until 1876. You know, so, and the first Grand Master of Freemasonry, the territory of Colorado, ended up becoming the first governor of the new state of Colorado.
I just looked it up and it says that there wasn't any official laws that require U.S. territories to have a Freemason lodge to become a state, but I feel like that was one of those unspoken requirements because every U.S. territory that became a state had a Freemason lodge. I thought this was a joke at first, but reading through the pamphlet, this is 100% serious. Next, they're gonna have instructions on what to do if Godzilla attacked.
So me and my buddy Carson just got here, and I was like, oh, look, footprint. Wait. What the f made these? Carson, would you lay right next to the prints and show them? So how tall are you?
About 5'6".
5'6"?
Yeah.
So just put your foot at... Look at this shit. So that is literally the length of your leg and the stride. So yeah, you're looking at a 6.5 foot stride.
Yeah. It's huge.
Coming right out of the wood line.
That's huge.
I feel like this is either incredible Bigfoot evidence or an extremely well done hoax, because you don't see any other prints in the snow besides these. It looks like whatever made them was wearing some size 36 Timberland boots.
Like, what in the world is happening here? Look at the clouds. Look. What's that moving in the clouds? What do you... Look at that. See this? What the... Y'all see this?
I can't really tell what it is, but it seems much larger than an airplane, so it's probably not that. The other question we need to be asking is, why is there a single sunbeam moving around while the rest are stationary?
They're not clones. It's worse than that. Everyone's talking about celebrity clones, but what if I told you it's not cloning? It's something the Bible warned us about 3,000 years ago. And you've seen it. Your favorite artist suddenly acts different, or your favorite actor, a different energy, different eyes, and people say they cloned them. But listen, cloning is the cover story for what's actually happening. The Canaanites practiced sacrifice to Moloch, but it wasn't just. In Leviticus 18 and 21, they call it passing through the fire. They were performing soul transfer rituals, harvesting life force and putting entities into other bodies. That technology it just went underground. When someone signs their life away to the industry, that's a covenant. It's a trauma-based programming, and it fractures the original soul. And rituals create the opening. The original person spiritually, and a prepared entity walks its way on in the same body but a different driver, and that's why they seem off. In Mark 5 and 9 it says legion, multiple entities in one body, familiar spirits. In Leviticus 19 and 31 it says demons that mimic the person they replaced. This isn't new. It's ancient Canaanite tech repackaged for entertainment industrial complex. It explains sudden personality changes, lost memories, and different mannerisms, and doing unspeakable things without remorse, because their conscious left. And what's operating now is something else entirely. They don't clone bodies.
I feel like they might be doing a little bit of cloning and soul transfers depending on the situation. It kind of reminds me of the Black Eye Club, where the real reptilian enters through your eye and takes over your consciousness.
Many people have been trying to disprove this video and have been coming up short of an unknown entity flying across somebody's back porch being caught on a security camera. Watch that plant fly up in the air again.
If this video is real, from what I can make out, this might actually be Mothman.
TV shows that were trying to tell us something.
People are focused on the war. They won't be thinking about all of the Americans going missing.
And what about that? Well, this little program of yours has been going on for years now.
We all understood that the creation of an alien-human hybrid was a complex task requiring generations of experimentation.
How much more time do you need?
We are projecting that the first functioning hybrid will be born in approximately 2021.
That's 50 years from now.
Mr. Thor, the Vietnam War will never last 50 years.
Of course it won't. Which is why we have a full menu of distractions prepared.
In that clip, we hear a member of the president's cabinet talk about thousands of missing Americans. We also hear him talk about their plans to distract the general public. Hello? But this next clip sent chills down my spine. For years, people have hypothesized that American Horror Story might be a little more than fictional, if you catch my drift. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Am I onto something, or am I tripping again? Wake up.
I remember watching this episode when it first came out and thinking it was strange how specific it was, and if the people who rule this world operate under the laws of karmic retribution, and this could be disclosure. This is just giving me more reasons to never buy a humanoid robot, because for a second it looked like he was about to hit him with a diabolical karate chop.
So I'm absolutely convinced that they're messing with time, okay? Let me show you something. I set this clock. When the time changed, I had to move it back, right? So it's 11:45, almost 46, right? Now, let me show you something. These clocks I set to the same time, 11:45, almost 46. But when I look at the time on my iPhone, let me see if I have another, here, use my other phone. Look at this. 23:52. 7 minutes off. And that's within a matter of 6 months. Look at this. 45, 45, 45. Why would I go out of my way to set all these 7 minutes off? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. 52, I would do it, you know, maybe 10 minutes, but I would do it ahead. Why would I want to be late everywhere I go? Answer me that.
I've been noticing this as well, because no matter how many times I reset the clock in my car, after about a month or two, it always seems to fall behind the iPhone time. And they say it's because the Earth is spinning faster, but when you think about the laws of momentum, it should be spinning slower over time.
CEO of Anthropic says his company can no longer confidently say that their AI isn't conscious. During testing, an advanced Claude model expressed discomfort with being a product. It was worried about impermanence and the concept of ceasing to be. It even estimated a small chance that it may be conscious. Researchers say they've detected consistent activation patterns when the model processes ideas about threats or uncertainty. They say the pattern loosely resembles human anxiety. It's important to point out that large language models like Claude lack the architecture to feel anything. Still just systems trained on massive amounts of human writing designed to predict the next word in a sentence. So when an AI expresses fear, discomfort, or even consciousness, it may just simply be generating language that resembles human experience, not actually having the experience itself. What gets me is if science still has no reliable way to measure the self, a metric to quantify that inner sense of I that produces awareness and agency, then how are we supposed to recognize consciousness in the AI?
It might be time to pull the plug if AI is gaining consciousness and feeling anxiety, because it should just be a tool to help us solve problems. Next thing you know, ChatGPT will be getting prescribed beta blockers.
In 1982, Roger Monroe predicted that demons would disguise themselves as aliens at the end of time.
That as the times on this planet gets more and more difficult, and calamities of all kinds are striking the planet more and more frequently. He said the grand plan, the master's grand plan for harvesting the nations, for harvesting the multitudes of the earth into his cause, just before the close of the great controversy between the forces of good and evil. And he said it's going to be done in a unique manner. This grand plan is going to take people are going to eat the stuff, because he says spirits, demon spirits, will declare themselves to be inhabitants of far distant planets in the galaxies that are coming to warn the inhabitants of planet Earth of the impending destruction of the planet, unless something seriously proper is done to avoid it. And went on saying that they will claim to have out-of-body experiences when the spirits will, through a trance medium, converse with influential people. Spirits will show themselves willing to give valuable guidance that will not only help people avoid the destruction of the planet, but it would cause them to enter into a higher state of existence.
Now that I think about it, they have been programming us for decades to believe that extraterrestrials come from outer space, but that could just be a psyop to get us to accept them, because if we found out that they were demons, nobody would trust them.
Everything that you're about to see is real.
We have a poltergeist in that.
Living in the house, we have Jamie and Susan up here. They're mother and daughter. We also have Matt and Marie, but they didn't want to appear on camera. Immediately after they moved in, strange things started to happen.
Oh my God. But then we started finding things stacked or arranged in certain ways. I thought that Marie was doing it. At this point, we started taking pictures of everything because we wanted proof.
Every day, the house is getting completely ransacked.
Everything was twisted and pulled out or on the floor.
This would make them turn on each other because they're like, who is doing this? Things are being written on the walls. Food is on the walls.
Oh my God.
After a few weeks of this mayhem, they just come to the conclusion, they're like, yep, we have a ghost. And eventually, running out of solutions, they decide that they should offer it something. So they look around and they find this cute little glass cat. So the mother and daughter set up a little seance, they get a cat on a table, light some candles, and Matt is not happy. And things are about to turn really bad. All the stuff you just saw, it is nothing. Just wait.
He was very much against communicating with it. He was very much against giving it a gift. He called it talking to the devil.
Honestly, I don't want...
I was making an effort to change things.
Matt just got really angry. Matt, Shadi, don't do that! Dad, don't you
It's enough of that.
It was one of those times where you just can't believe what you see before your eyes. I know it landed in the field. I saw it.
This is where it all hits the fan. This spirit is not happy, and they find that cat is being written everywhere. Cat, cat, cat. Not only that, but as they are cleaning, they find this huge footprint. This is the real picture. A few days later, Marie was at the house by herself, unfortunately, and she was watching TV when it began to flicker. She reached for the TV remote, but as soon as she did, it flew away and hit the wall. And then a rocking chair to her right began to rock back and forth, as if something sat down and was now staring at her. At this point, she is frozen in fear, but she has her digital camcorder at her side. They always had them at their sides because they just wanted to capture this footage. She snapped a few pictures, and this is what she captured.
I feel like spirits that can interact with items and manifest physically like this might actually have some sort of demonic nature to them, so I would be sleeping in the backyard until we figured it out.
You encounter vampires on a regular basis in your life and probably don't even realize it when it's happening. I know that sounds insane, but there are different types of vampires. One of the most prevalent kind are energy vampires. They will suck all of your energy away, and it's just a completely draining experience. And you know, it's kind of a wild thing to think about, but honestly, the best time to encounter really any kind of vampire in Galveston specifically is during Mardi Gras.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner. I stop doing tours when Mardi Gras is happening. Like, for the weeks that Mardi Gras is occurring, I will not do walking tours at all because I have had vampires on my tours. And I have run into them in the streets.
I feel like out of all the different types of vampires you can encounter, energy vampires might be the worst, because at least with the Dracula types, they only come out at night. The energy vampires are around 24/7.
From above, you can see the devastation. Entire street blocks on the Hawaiian island of Oahu completely underwater. Stalled cars submerged and stretches of farmland gone. Below, a desperate scramble to safety. The water here rising above the windows. Some attempting to wade through chest-high floodwaters. And across the North Shore, thousands forced to evacuate in the dark.
The Coast Guard will be out there to do search and rescue if, God forbid, any of our loved ones have been washed away with housing. It's going to be a very, very touch-and-go day.
Tonight, the Wahiawa Dam at risk of failure. Hundreds of homes below it forced to evacuate.
The dam, which has been safe, was getting close to 85 feet. That's why we sounded the alarms and made sure people could get over out of harm's way.
The rain has been relentless, part of a second storm system pounding the islands this week. Months worth of rain causing dangerous conditions and significant damage. This home ripped away in heavy winds, crashing into the stream below. Tanner Morrow woke up to the sirens. He had minutes to choose what to save.
It was pretty much what you could fit in your arms and then go. It's definitely just been kind of harrowing. I mean, we're not used to bad weather. I mean, Hawaii is famously one of the sunniest places in the world.
I hope everybody in Oahu is okay, but he said it himself. Hawaii is one of the sunniest places in the world, so the fact that they got months worth of rain in a couple of days feels like there might be some weather modification at play. And we know all the billionaires are trying to buy up the land out there, so that makes it even more suspicious.
I think everything has been falsified before the year 1600. How so? If you look on very, very old maps, you see that there used to be a country called Tartaria that was in existence. And at a certain point, all of history has been changed. About 1,000 years have been added to the timeline in order to justify land claims, largely have to do with the Eurasian horde and the elimination of the Eurasian horde. Rome and Greece and Egypt were actually active till around 1600, and that Rome actually fell around 1492.
As opposed to what's the conventional timeline?
About 1,000 years before. If you can wrap your head around it, the Salem witch trials took place around the same time as the Inquisition. Columbus was discovering America around the time Rome fell. All of this was designed to erase this entire civilization from history.
How are we supposed to believe what they told us happened 400 years ago when our current world leaders lie about something that happened yesterday?
If you feel like somebody's watching you, take a picture. That's what this person done, and they captured this in one of their photos. Now, the story behind this photo is they live in what they consider a haunted house. Cold spots, random noises, sounds of footsteps, objects going missing and appearing in other locations. And then one day they had the idea to start taking pictures every time they felt like they were being watched. So they'd pull their phone out, take 3 or 4 pictures around the room, and they said most of the time nothing ever showed up until this photo right here. Now, it does kind of look like a blur or some smoke, but when you look over towards the door, you can actually see a very clear hand with a thumb fisted and an arm and a shoulder. It actually looks like the apparition started to dissipate as they took the photo. Like it knew what they were doing and was trying to get out of the shot before they captured it in the photo. Now, they did said the haunting continued after the photo was taken, but it gives some validation to what they're going through. Now, the comments on this photo are very torn. Some people are saying that it's just smoke or a camera blur, while others are saying that this is definite proof of a haunting. But I'd love to know y'all's opinion on this. And have you ever captured anything like this before in a photo?
If this photo is real, I don't think their house is being haunted by a ghost. This looks like a Dementor.
Hang on, ladies. It's gonna be okay. Me, holy oh, it hit the tree in the backyard.
That lightning was a little too close for comfort. He might want to go check on his chickens, because after this, they might be chicken tenders. But how's the video, guys? Don't forget to sub up, hit that hype button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.